Bounty of Sin City do not reflect those of Vegas All Net Radio or its affiliates.
All music, stories, and characters are the sole property of their creators and are protected under international copyright laws.
Sierra, Alexia, Mama, and Sweet Cheeks are personalities put on for your entertainment.
The stories are real. The language is explicit. The behavior is unbelievable.
If you can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Watch out for
Blasting to you straight out of Las Vegas, Nevada, it is the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City, starring Sierra, Sweet Cheeks, Alexia, and Mama.
Good evening, Las Vegas.
And people around the world.
Well, it feels like season 1 up in this bitch today.
And I'm so anti-tech that I'm like, okay, whatever.
I'm like, is it time?
It's time.
Did you say our names? What?
I did not say our names.
Is it
we
that
did say our
time?
names. We seem to be having some technical difficulties on the software side of broadcasting this evening, so we're going old school. So if the video seems a bit grainy and handheld camera-ish, that's
Blair Witch. We're doing the Blair Witch episode.
No, we're not doing the Blair Witch episode. We're not doing like, oh my God, Jeremy, why? We're not doing any of that shit today. Although I think I just freaked Ustream out. It's going to give me another pop-up. Your quality's too high. Thanks, Ustream. Oh, see, I did. I got a pop-up.
What is it? We're having Wi-Fi problems?
No, I'm hard-lined in, so it's not a Wi-Fi problem. It's
But it keeps dropping, or is the broadcaster keeps dropping?
The broadcaster was dropping. I haven't dropped since we switched over to the old-fashioned method of broadcasting off the internet.
Ugly message.
It is. It's sending me a bumply message. It says, your computer or internet connection cannot currently handle your quality setting. Please try reducing your resolution and or quality for smoother streaming. So we have to bring you a low-quality show tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
I would kick it right. You know what? It did that to me. I had to stream for someone on Friday, and it did that to me, and I kept it on high quality anyway. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't do anything low quality, ladies. I'm all high quality.
I just totally messed up my camera angle there. What's that smudge right there?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, it is smudge.
She's petting the audience.
I am. I love you guys so much. Oh, fuck.
Oh, my God. We're all just like, oh, fuck. Oh, yeah.
It's just been it's been a weird weekend. Just
weekend or week?
Well, the week wasn't so bad at work. My son got sick. You got sick.
You know, literally, the last 2 times that I've been up puking my guts out at night,
my kid.
I get a text in the morning. DJ's sick. He's not at school today. He's throwing up. Well, that's because I was throwing up last night. The last 2 times.
She's no longer allowed to be affectionate with my child.
Okay.
But he likes the
he does like to squeeze the cha-cha.
Squeeze the chubby. He does. He likes the.
Well, on Friday, I felt myself getting. I will give them a plug. I am a huge proponent of Zicam, the zinc movement for preventing the flu.
Like if you feel it coming on, to take
it used to be the gel that you squirt in your nose, and then you had to hold your nostril closed to keep the gel in there.
Then they gave you the Tums like chalky chews.
Yeah, and then now they have the spray. So it's like the mouth spray. You do 4 squirts every 3 hours. I can taste sickness coming on. I could taste it in my saliva.
I had no indication. I had a date that night. It was on Wednesday night. Had a date, and we had some appetizers and wine. And then at 4 a.m. woke up puking.
Yeah,
I mean, I had no indication that I was feeling bad at all.
So I can always taste it coming on.
Not me.
And, you know, that's true. All my friends and people I'm close to, I go, I think I'm getting sick, and they're like, how do you know? I said, I can taste it, and they're like, what are you talking about?
Oh no, I can do.
Do you?
Yeah, I
can
do.
You, sometimes but like this last time, there was just no indication, and it wasn't like throw up one time and you're good. And usually if I do that, I throw up a few times, but usually by that evening or that afternoon, I'm feeling myself. It took me 2 days to feel back to myself again.
Yeah, that day, my son, it was about the same thing. He had no problem all day, ate his dinner just fine, wolfed it down, actually. And then about 4 o'clock in the morning, someone's knocking on my door because I've trained him. He's not allowed to just walk into my room anymore because he has almost walked in on some sex.
Oh.
And so he knocks, and I go, what? I get up, and I'm naked, so I had to put on, like, some clothes. So, what's wrong, baby? I puked. I fucked up right there. He made it to the sink. You know, we've talked about making it to the toilet, but he said, I could not go all the way. I said, that's okay. You made it in the sink. That's okay.
Well, it looks like they're, I think it's because of the change of weather, going from a warmer to the cold. Wendy of Neverland, he's in our chat. Hey, Wendy! She says they've been fighting colds for 4 days, and they are also living on Zicam right now.
Yeah.
I am a huge proponent of Zicam.
Now, is Zicam good when you have, like, the pukes and the diarrheas, or just for the
It's
flu, like the coughs?
if you already have the flu, if you can't catch it before you get it, Zicam is supposed to shorten the duration of your flu.
Okay.
Now, I've read a lot of literature on it. A lot of people go, it's like the zinc preposterousness or whatever, and I for me, it works.
Yeah.
I can't taste any sickness right now. I'm sure I'll catch it sooner on down the line, but for now, I was able to stave it off by just spraying that shit in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try that. But let me tell you, this is kind of on the subject, but off the subject. Have you guys ever taken Mucinex?
Yes.
Okay, so listen to this. I have a friend, a gentleman friend, who told me, and he's like around my age, okay, and he was taking Mucinex for, you know, mucus,
cold.
whatever, and he was having erectile problems.
Wow.
And he couldn't figure it out, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm
messes with your blood pressure.
I am too young for this bullshit." So he gets online, and sure enough, one of the side effects of Mucinex is erectile dysfunction.
Well, of course, if it's online, it's the truth.
But he stopped
They
taking
can't put anything on the internet if it's not true.
But he stopped taking the Mucinex
Right.
and has no more erectile dysfunction problems. So
Right.
that's pretty wild. I wonder what it is. Does it lower your blood pressure?
It does something to your blood pressure. You're not supposed to take it if you're on heart medicine. Not supposed to take Mucinex if you're on heart medicine. But
What happens if
I
you
live
take
by it.
What happens if you take Mucinex and Viagra together?
You get kind of hard.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly.
It's like,
So-
eh,
No.
Chemical cocktail.
maybe I can stuff it in.
Now sold in stores near you.
You know, people don't realize the side effects of the medicines they take.
Well,
you know?
Here's the thing. The reason there's so many different, and a lot of people don't realize this, but the reason there's so many different kinds of flu reliever or headache reliever or anything like this is because not everything works the same on everybody.
True.
Yeah.
I swear by NyQuil and DayQuil. I practically live on that stuff when I do finally get sick, just to keep everything down, and my home body will take care of curing me or whatever.
Right.
But it doesn't work for a lot of people that I know. They can take DayQuil and NyQuil all day long, and it does nothing for them.
I can't take DayQuil or NyQuil.
Right.
They make me so drowsy. I'm so reactive to drugs like that.
Now, I take-
even the daytime non-drowsy formula stuff, and I'm like, dude, I need a ride to work. I am so high.
Now, see, I buy, no lie, the little pink ones, the nighttime ones from the dollar store, and the little red decongestants from the dollar store, and I'm good. Take the little red ones in the day, and the pink ones at night, and when I'm like all stuffed up, and I'm good.
I'm a Mucinex fan. My son's got
Is your
asthma,
dick
so
get hard on Mucinex?
I don't have a dick, so I don't
And
worry about it.
I can't stand Mucinex, and it could be psychosomatic
Mucinex
for
did
me.
nothing for me.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it dried up anything. When I took it.
Don't you also like Theraflu a lot?
I do like
and
Theraflu.
Theraflu does absolutely nothing for me. It does
Yeah.
not quell any of the symptoms. It does not do anything for me.
Theraflu's really good. When I have a serious head cold, like if it's all up in my face, I am a Theraflu hot, steam, cold, whatever person.
I'm on
an
an anti-Tylenol thing right now, actually.
Really? Why is that?
Just so the science that's come out about.
They say like you can put there's a lot like too much Tylenol is really bad for your
Yes,
liver.
It'll turn you put you into cirrhosis, won't it?
it will kill you.
Oh,
yes,
really?
it will kill you.
Wow. I don't take Tylenol.
Acetaminophen is what it is.
Yeah, acetaminophen.
And there was just a lot of there's a lot of papers that have come out about it, and how just a little bit of an overdose. If you're supposed to take 3 pills and you take 4 or 5 pills, you could overdose just that fast.
Well, because
So-
the arthritis med that I take has acetaminophen in it, I can't take any like additional Tylenol or ibuprofen.
Well, I've always been an ibuprofen person.
Yeah.
Advil and aspirin. That's my main. I buy the big bottles of aspirin and I take it for everything. And if that doesn't work, then I'll move to Advil.
Your
No,
strong medication is
No, I'll
Advil.
tell you why. I will tell you why. When I was, I don't know, it must have been like 13 or 14 years old, I was taken on base, because my dad was military at the time, and to Champus, which is the medical center there for military people, and I had my lymph nodes right here were completely swollen. I could barely breathe. I couldn't talk, and the doctor gave me 2 aspirin, and within 30 minutes, my lymph nodes were back to normal size.
So from then on, you were sold on
I
aspirin.
was sold on aspirin, and I will tell you, aspirin works almost every single time.
That's good.
I'm an ibuprofen person.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, when I have dental teeth pain or anything like that, or anything for Advil, I'm good.
I
3 doesn't work, 4 does.
I got sold on what they call vitamin M when you're in the military.
What's that?
It's Motrin.
Oh.
Ibuprofen. At any time, I broke my leg and they gave me Motrin. I had I have dietary controlled anemia, low
Right.
blood iron, but
Yeah,
can't talk.
most women do. Did you know that?
Yeah,
most women
most
have
women-
low iron.
But I have a lot of red meat and dark leafy greens in my diet, and I didn't know I was anemic until I joined the Army about 3 or 4 months in.
Let me ask you a question. Did you chomp ice when you were anemic?
Yes.
My friend does that. Yeah, she's anemic and
So,
chomps ice constantly.
About 3 or 4 months in, I was in South Carolina, and the meals that they serve you on base there are all chicken, fish, and pork. And I was
no red meat.
There's no red meat because it's too expensive. Or the red meat that they do get, I wouldn't eat because I worked KP early on, and I was there during a delivery, and the box clearly states not for human consumption except for federal prisoners and military personnel. So I, needless to say, didn't eat much red meat when I was over there.
No explanation, but that is enough of a statement.
That's enough right there. So I started I just felt like crap, and I was dragging ass, and I couldn't get up, and I felt like I couldn't sleep enough, and I felt like I was getting sick, but I never actually got sick. And so I went to the doctor. I took a sick day, and I went in, and I'm like, look, I feel like shit. I can't get my energy levels up. It doesn't matter what I do, how much I sleep. It doesn't matter I'm wasting away. And they were like, oh, well, there could be mono. That's going around on base right now. I'm like, oh, that's great. So they did I don't know if you've ever had the back of your throat scraped.
Yeah, yuck.
He's like, brings out a Q-tip that's like 1.5 feet long, and the ball on the end of the Q-tip part, the actual cotton swab part, had to be 1/2 inch around. And he's like, well, I'm going to take a swab of your throat. I said, not with that. And he did, and I gagged, and he was like, yeah, it happens all the time. He's like scraping around in there. It's like a pap smear for your fucking throat.
Right.
Comes back and he's like, oh, you don't have mono, but you're anemic. I'm like, well, what do I do? He goes, take a Motrin and then go to the store. It's like, Motrin for anemia? What the hell's that gonna do? It'll bring down your inflammation. What inflammation?
So here, let's preface this PSA for today. When you get sick, do you stay away from people? Do you stay home? Do you not go out into public? Do you take care of yourself so you don't get other people sick?
Yeah, I stay home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was Sierra. How about you?
I can stay home, but there's so many people in and out of my house, it doesn't matter.
No. When you personally get sick,
that's what
you
I'm
keep
saying.
yourself away from everybody else so you don't get them
It's
sick?
very
or?
difficult for me to do, even
Okay.
if I try to keep away from other people. The kids aren't going to let it happen.
Right, and I only do so if I can keep the symptoms suppressed,
Right,
and
yeah.
if I know I'm not contagious
I
or whatever.
still take, I do what I got to do to stop, my nose running and stuff.
So, the reason I'm doing this is because Wendy says that they went on a cruise, and on the second to the last day of the cruise, a germy little kid sat next to us at breakfast and was coughing like she was bringing up a lung. We moved quickly, but Cheyenne got sick the very next day. And the kid's mom was right there and didn't do anything.
Well, I don't think that child is what made the little one sick. I think it's a longer...
Cheyenne is the wife.
Cheyenne, I'm sorry. I think there's a longer incubation period than 1 day for a cold. When somebody... You can look it up, but...
There is.
I don't
Usually
think it was
once you-
probably another snotty-nosed kid on the
No, it was
cruise.
probably still that snotty-nosed kid. What the numbers that I have seen is that by the time you are actually showing symptoms, you're no longer actually contagious.
Right.
You're contagious when so the 3 days before you start showing.
And anything as simple as, just wiping your nose
Yeah.
and then turning a door handle or something can spread the virus.
Exactly.
Yeah, sneezing
Well, and that's
once
why they
without
teach
covering-
children in school now to cough or sneeze into their arm,
Right.
into the
not
corner,
their hands.
into
Right.
their elbow.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're sick, don't go to work.
Yeah.
I know you're losing out on the money on I used to work at a job where I didn't get paid if I got sick.
Well, and it's not only the pay. Some bosses are fucking brutal.
That's
If you're out
true.
if you don't have a doctor's note or out, and come on, when you got the little flu bug for 24 hours and you're sneezing and coughing, you don't need to go to the doctor. That's what the problem is with our freaking medical system now. People run to the doctor for every little fucking thing. So I'm just defending the employees that need to stay home.
And
that really can't.
I know that they're, but if it is better for your fellow humans if you don't go to work. How's that? That's better.
I agree.
Okay?
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Wow, that was really profound, Sierra.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know if we
also
live
very nerdy.
I don't know if we live in a society that can handle that though. So
No, we don't. We're definitely not Vulcan. That's for damn sure. So
that's the PSA. If you get sick, stay home. Protect your fellow man from getting sick as well, because we don't need as much as I would. I don't want to live through a zombie apocalypse as much as I love watching about them and all that. I don't want to live through one. So
yeah, no, me neither. Because I'm sorry, but I just kill
What's
people
a
in
zombie
general.
apocalypse going to look like?
Walking Dead.
Yeah. You ever watch The Walking Dead? You should watch it. That's exactly what it'll be like.
Any
too.
of them. If it's like 28 days later, I'm shooting myself in the head because those fucking zombies are fast. They will run me down in an instant.
Yeah.
But you realize they're not coming back ever, right?
Who's not coming back
The
ever?
zombies, they're not going to rise from the dead and be walking.
How do you know?
Because I know.
Science may develop Resident Evil.
There is a video on my personal YouTube channel from a science thing, and they showed you how becoming a zombie is very, very possible. Thank you very much.
It is absolutely plausible.
Absolutely plausible.
So you have to die and come back, though.
Yeah, well, in the Walking Dead right now, spoiler alert. In The Walking Dead right now, you don't even have to die. Well, you die first, but you don't have to get killed. You can just get the flu
And die.
choke on your own bile.
You don't have to die at the mouth of a zombie. I would say
No.
hands, but it's usually
The mouth, right.
Yeah, it's usually they originally thought it was transmitted through the saliva of a zombie. So when they bit you,
Right.
and that's true. If they bite you, you will die and become a zombie.
Now, I'm going to have the conversation that your son and my grandson would have talking about this. You know that's not real. It just happens on television.
What's
And
that?
your son would say that. My grandson would say that to her son, and her son would say,
But it's possible.
and he
It
said,
could
"No,
happen.
it's just TV. It's not real." They have these conversations. Her son and my grandson.
It's great that they do that.
Because my son is on the side of science, and yes, he understands, and he says this is just a TV show, right, Mom? I said, yeah, and he asks me, could zombies really happen? And I hate to break it to him, but yeah, zombies could really happen.
Yes, they can.
And he's like, but they're not going to happen, right? And I say, I hope not. But your mother could survive a zombie apocalypse, my child, and so shall you. That's why you have your Red Ryder BB gun. So I can shoot him in the head? Yes. Okay.
Well, if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, I'm going to come to your house.
I just have to run faster than you.
That's not and that's not hard to do. I'm telling you.
No, I'm telling you, if you ever wanted to survive any kind of apocalypse, being with me and Alexia is hands down the best way to go about doing
I
it.
believe it. But I did watch Doomsday Preppers today, and they had the top 5 best Doomsday Preppers on there.
Oh, I want to see
I
that.
love that
And I
show.
seen it on demand. Me too.
I want to see
And
that episode.
it's the top 5. It's called the Superstars. They've gone back through and got the top 5 best preppers. It's very interesting.
Well, here's my problem with most of the preppers is that, come on in, have a seat. These preppers are prepping and they are stockpiling stuff to survive the actual physical upheaval of the apocalypse. But what they are not stockpiling and preparing for is what's going to happen a year later, once all of the canned food has run out.
Well, that's why these ones, you know how
Were the top 5?
Yeah, the top 5.
They're stockpiling seeds.
Well, seeds, or they've got land where there's where they have livestock, or there's land where there's a constant flow of livestock
Right.
or fish, but these, all of these were they could survive 16 months or longer according to the professional.
Yeah, most people, even really hardcore preppers, are only equipped to survive for a single year.
I think those people
And
are
those-
obsessive.
And that's great, but you honestly only need to be able to survive for 3 months, and then you need to be able to thrive, not just survive. That means you need to have the skills to hunt and kill your own meat, tan the leather that comes off of that meat. You need to know how to cure the bones that come out of there.
You have to have like a endless water supply.
Yes, or at least not.
Access to one.
Yeah, you have to have at least
Clean
access
water.
to one. It doesn't have to be clean water, but you have to know how to clean it properly.
like the top prepper has a boat made of steel.
Yeah.
And he has
I
a
like it
system
in
on the
Resident
boat.
Evil. I so
Yes.
want an aircraft carrier.
And then on his boat, he can change seawater into drinking water.
Was that Waterworld and
300
Resident
gallons a
Evil,
day
right?
they can-
Ugh, aircraft carrier, mine.
Hell yeah.
300 gallons a day they can purify.
That's
awesome.
That's awesome, and that's enough for a small group of people.
Right. Yeah,
Especially if you realize that you can bathe in the seawater and cook and clean with you can bathe and clean with the seawater and cook and drink with the purified water. You instantly cut your
So-
need for purified water in half.
So here's the thing about people who prep, right? There's so many different reasons. So there's the people who are prepping for a medical emergency, and I've watched
biochemical,
right?
yeah.
So they've got the plastic sheeting and the tape and the suits and the hazmat and the masks and everything, and then you have the ones that are preparing for government shutdown and breakdown and all that. So they've got all the guns and they've got the other underground places and the storage places and all the gold and shit like that. And then you've got the people that are prepping for nuclear war. So they've got the bomb shelters and the food and the air purifiers and all that crap. There's a house in Colorado that's an underground house that's got the purifiers for the radiation. It's pretty awesome. And so you have all these different kinds of people who are preparing, natural disaster people,
Yeah,
which is
everybody
usually very
expects
short.
something different that's
They
going
do.
to start the end of the world. Yeah.
So you have to, if you're going to be one of these preppers, you're going to have to do a little bit of everything, or just, you've got to be able to just do it on your own, just like Sierra said.
Well, there's one guy they showed that he can make his own ammunition. Okay, he's got his own way to do that.
Right, I know how to
but
do
he's
that.
stockpiling alcohol and cigarettes because
For
he
trade.
knows those are going to be the top two things people will use to barter.
I will tell
Chocolate?
you off the air what I am stockpiling, because I'm not going to tell the rest of you fuckers. But I will tell you off the air what I am stockpiling.
Write it down because I don't want to wait. Because I'll forget to ask you. Write it
Okay.
down.
I will tell you, because these two things will never ever go bad, and within the first month they will be the most required, asked for, and traded.
Toilet paper?
I was just going to say toilet paper. That's what I'm thinking. I have to wipe my fat ass, okay? I am so... Oh, yeah, you could be right.
Oh.
Absolutely, the two most. They will be worth their weight.
It's a beer and cigarette.
It's like the 1500s to get up here in this bitch.
They will be worth their weight in anything else you could trade for. I mean, you could bring an entire civilization to its knees without one or the other of those.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And they're inexpensive.
They're
Right
very
now.
That's an
expensive.
easy thing to stockpile.
No,
Yeah.
but your friend is right. Alcohol, cigarettes, chocolates. During the war, pantyhose.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And who wears pantyhose anymore?
Nobody. So that flip flops maybe. I don't know.
Birkenstocks. Lesbians. The meek shall inherit. No, not the meek.
No, what are those? The plastic shoes that everybody
Crocs.
wears? Oh, those fucking things.
I have a bunch of them.
I know you do. Hey, Michelle's in the studio with us.
Hey, Michelle, put your earphones on so you can
Earphones and pull the mic over.
pretend like it's your favorite cock.
Mouth
I have
it.
to remember what one looks like first.
That's terrible.
And you just join the conversation when you want, and we'll ask you questions, and then we'll do a
Yes,
formal interview thing.
Tampons would be a good one to stockpile.
Oh,
as well.
tampons would be good.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what? You have to come up with an alternate use for tampons and Kotex.
An alternate use?
Kids use them for bombs in the toilet. You ever see a bunch of boys in the bathroom with their mom's tampons?
Here's the thing. Tampons? I swear to God I learned this in my military survival class. Every single man, every single woman who goes out in the field in their personal first aid kit is a single supersized absorbent tampon. Do you know why? They are the perfect stopper for a bullet hole wound.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And with a plastic applicator, they are a completely sanitary way to pack a gunshot wound.
That makes sense to me. Absolutely.
I swear to God.
I'm not being funny. I'm agreeing.
I know it.
I would think a pad would be, because then you can put it on the big size on the wounds too.
Well, pads are good for
in the hole.
Yeah, no. You need to pack if you don't have a medic on hand, you need to pack the bullet wound so that it will begin to clot faster. Because if you just leave it open, it's just going to flood that cavity with blood. So you pack the bullet hole wound, and a tampon, a supersized tampon, is generally the right size and the perfect absorbency to do that. And so every trainer, every first aid survival trainer I had in the military, that was when you got to gunshot wounds, that was always carry a tampon in your kit.
But you know what kills me about these preppers? Like at the end of the show, the little announcer dude always says, no, the probability of, a total economic, blowdown is only blah, blah, blah. There's never one that says, yeah, this is going to happen, so this man is smart. It's always like, this is unlikely to happen. They're all prepping for nothing.
Well, here's the thing. They are all very unlikely to happen, but that does not mean that they won't. Now, I'm not prepared for a chemical attack, because where we live in this country, it is highly unlikely that we will actually be targeted by a chemical attack. At least one that we would need to have immediate protection from. Now, maybe they get the seacoast, or they get something else like that with some long-range missile, but with our new defense systems in place, a long-range missile is highly unlikely to make it here. So it would have to be personally carried into the country somehow. They smuggled it in, or they made it once they got here.
You're talking like a dirty bomb.
Right. And then the actual spread of a dirty bomb like that, unless you are at ground zero, you are very likely to survive an attack like that. And so I'm not really prepared for that where we live here in the middle of the fucking desert. And a nuclear attack, honestly, any nuclear attack on the western seaboard is going to wipe us out, period. So there's no reason to prepare for that.
So what are you preparing for?
I am prepared for a socioeconomic breakdown. You can't buy anything because nobody's got anything to sell. I am prepared to leave. I have enough supplies to leave where I am at currently, to get to my rendezvous point with the rest of my survival crew, and begin living again from that point forward.
I watched a special, or I read a series of articles. I can't remember which one. I think it was I read a series of articles. But the number one thing that Vegas is ripe for in that genre of breakdown of society would be medical, because of all the people that travel through here and the things that they can bring with them.
Right. It'd be some sort of
carrying some kind of
disease or
a plague
infection or something like that.
Well, we have the tuberculosis going around the valley right now.
Yep.
Well, there's a movie out too. I can't remember what movie. I watched a few months ago on cable, but it was literally about an epidemic break because a lady reporter met a top chef in Japan, shook his hand. He had been in the kitchen preparing a chicken that wasn't necessarily, or a pig or something. A pig
it had chicken blood on the pig, and
and she just shook his hand, went and met him, and then brought the disease back to the United States. I can't remember. Contagion. It's called Contagion. But it was exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what Vegas is ripe for. So if you live in Vegas, so you just have to figure out what's in your area. The only other thing that we might is a chemical spill, like what's that place down there where they
Where-
store all the nuclear stuff?
Oh, where they're getting ready to do everything.
Contamination, Yucca Mountain.
Talk about or a terrorist
Contamination.
attack. We're primed for a terrorist attack.
No, according to the history of terrorist attacks, we're where they come to party before they go attack other places.
Yeah, we're the last stop
They
before
get
the
their
attack.
17 virgins,
Right.
right?
47.
Yeah, we're the launching point. So
Yeah, this is just like it. This is like the terrorist bachelor party. They
Right,
come
right,
to
right.
Vegas to party.
Before they go give their lives.
They get hookers, blow, they gamble, they drink, and then they go blow themselves up. And that's how it works here. And yes, Wendy, they are a lot more likely to nuke the dam, which is why I'm not prepared for a nuclear or a chemical attack, because they're not going to attack the actual city here. They'll attack something nearby.
right.
I feel we're close enough to Nellis Air Force Base that we're the first anyways. Goodbye. Why bother?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah, but Nellis is never first on the list of the movies, so there you go.
There you go.
This is the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasOnNetRadio.com. Streaming live at SinCityBounty.com. You can watch and join the conversation. We've got Michelle Baldwin here in the studio with us. We've been talking Doomsday Preppers. We'll be back right after this.